Have you ever discovered something and completely fell in love with it? For me, it's been three things: fat stacks, fat racks, and Delicious in Dungeon. And now I've got a fever, and the only cure is some dungeon diving. Welcome to Delicious in Ancient Dungeon. Delicious in Dungeon kind of hit me at the right time. For about a year now, I've been learning to cook and have actually really been enjoying making my own food and experimenting with different dishes. I've also recently gotten back into watching anime, which is something I haven't done since Dragon Ball Super ended back in 2018? Oh man, geez, time sure flies, doesn't it? It also helps that Delicious in Dungeon is being animated by Studio Trigger, led by the same god-tier talent responsible for Gurren Lagann, which is my all-time favorite anime. For a quick rundown on the plot, Delicious in Dungeon is about party leader Laios on a rescue mission to save his sister. With the party mostly broken up and funds running completely dry, Laios must lead his few remaining companions back into the dungeon with one key factor in mind. They can't afford food, so now they gotta eat the monsters that dwell within the dungeon to survive. I love this concept. And while other works like Made in Abyss do touch upon cooking monsters throughout a journey, it wasn't the focal point like it is in Delicious in Dungeon. Not once have I ever thought, hey, I wonder what that slime tastes like, or what kind of dish could I make out of that magical flying axe?
Something's coming. Whoa! That's clearly not good. Ah! Fuck off! That's an axe. That was an axe. What the fuck? Okay. Haunted weapons. That's cool.
Fortunately, there's no need to eat these monsters, as we can find apples, potatoes, and...
What the fuck is that? Oh, steak! Wow, that looks... Yum. Yeah.
You know, I've got a real affinity towards retro vibes. In this case, with pixel and voxel-based games, or voxel-adjacent, like Minecraft and its spin-offs being an obvious one. Teardown being another amazing and visually stunning game that comes to mind. Ancient Dungeon is a gorgeous roguelite dungeon crawler, and playing in virtual reality makes it a genuinely magical experience. VR really takes immersion to a level that's simply not possible with flat-screen games, and it's the tiny details, the tiny interactions with the environment that make certain games stand out amongst a sea of never-ending titles.
I wonder if I can cut it with a knife. That's tight.
Wacha. When it comes to games, I'm really not that hard to please. I mean, for Christ's sake, I'm a Sonic fan. And even though the 3D games have been garbage for well over a decade, I always seem to come back for more. Like a battered wife. In any case, like I said before, the little details can make the biggest impressions. Smashing your sword against crates and pots and seeing the models explode in voxely puzzle pieces is satisfying. Really makes you feel like Zelda. Same with the vines and overgrown grass. Swipe your sword and it'll actually be cut at that angle. Very Fruit Ninja, and with the vines and grass obstructing your view, you'll constantly be cutting them down. Seeing those precise cuts never gets old. Fortunately, objects aren't bolted to the floor either. Just like your throwing knife, they have physics to them, so it's very possible that it could trip you out at some point.
The food drop is horrible. What the fuck just happened? What was that? I didn't do that.
Speaking of, the throwing knife. What an extremely simple yet satisfying weapon to use. Kinda difficult as well, but that lends to the satisfaction of being able to headshot a zombie or snipe a bat. But this knife, it's reminding me of something and I can't pinpoint it. What was it? Oh, that's right, the Leviathan axe from God of War. Yeah, this knife really makes you feel like Kratos. As for your sword, I'm not impressed by it. It does do more damage, but being so close to enemies when you only have 3 hearts to start with is very nerve-wracking. There are relics you can find throughout your dungeon dive that can have a number of effects, not only on your weapon, but your entire run. My favorite relic so far has been the Bamboo Firecracker, essentially turning your knife into an impact grenade.
Oh my god, that's so good!
With the power of Christ and explosions, mostly explosions, the monsters ain't as scary anymore. Well, that's entirely based on whether or not you find the relic. Anyways, that sort of, kind of, not really leads me to my next point. Delicious in Dungeon has really connected with me on another level. At the time of this video's release, the show has yet to be completed, so when I finish the episodes currently available, I was left craving so much more. I started the manga, immediately got hooked, and blasted through it. It's fantastic from beginning to end, and has earned its spot as my second favorite manga of all time. This is all to say, this story has made me realize something about myself. Just like Laios, I really love monsters.
Can you guys not come down? It's just fucking stacked like the slime stack. This is Dragon Quest. Oh my god. That was cool.
Some series that I hold so close to my heart have a focus on monsters. From fantasy like Monster Hunter, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Dark Souls, to sci-fi like Mass Effect, the Alien franchise, Doom, and Halo, and all the eldritch abominations in between. Dungeons, monsters, cooking, stacks, and racks. Oh, I love them all. Sorry. I got a little too passionate there. Back to the video. Ancient Dungeon has a very classic approach to its dungeon design. I mean, we're talking OG dungeon crawling like Ultima, just in 3D. Halls and rooms, y'all. Halls and rooms. It's a very simple looking game, but it's very pretty too. The first floor of the dungeon is your rather standard affair. Stone bricks and moss, overgrown grass and vines, some tables, chairs, bookcases, previously inhabited, now abandoned. Simple monsters like your slime classico, zombies, bats, and 2 types of plants that shoot their cummies all over you. Traps are a few, but they're around to catch you off guard. There's a shopkeep on every floor and a boss blocking the entrance to the next one.
You're not the same boss. You're not the same boss. What are you flailing? What the fuck? Oh, see, I was expecting a slime. Ah! Ow! Oh, you're dead. Oh, I did it. Ow! What the fuck? Okay, that didn't seem to act. Ah!
The second floor takes a more reddish, infected look. Explosive sacks blend into the walls. Enemies are faster, stronger. Grubs, magical flying axes. Traps are more common and accompany a dungeon, jail-type design.
Ah! Whoa! Holy crap! I didn't know I could do that. Oh, okay.
There's definitely something to this dungeon. A parallel to Delicious in Dungeon, there's a mystery to be solved here. Yeah, third floor is all about magic. There's definitely some shenanigans going on here. The difficulty also skyrockets from here. This floor introduces portals, bringing in more verticality than previous floors. And it also has the most enemy variety. Some rather easy to deal with wisps, insanely fast warping slimes, tomes that shoot magic missiles.
Books are for nerds. I missed. Books are for nerds. I missed. Books are for nerds. Yeah!
Whatever the hell these things are that are rapid-firing magic rings. And finally, Beamos from Zelda. Well, the one thing you can rely on is the treasure you can find within the depths of the ancient dungeon.
Oh my god, that's a mimic! Holy crap! What the fuck? No!
Oh. Never mind. I think I'm gonna say it. Ancient Dungeon is probably my favorite VR game I've played so far. For an early access title, it's an extremely solid game, and I've hardly experienced any bugs. For the most part, you can take it at your own pace, and it's just striking every chord with me. I'm a big fan of roguelites, and this is definitely one of the better ones. I'm excited to follow Ancient Dungeon's development, and I hope you're excited to stick around. I think that's the worst segue I've ever done, but we're sticking with it. Please consider subscribing to the channel and follow me on Twitch for more of my shenanigans. Hopefully I'll be able to clear that third floor soon. Most importantly, hit up the Discord. It's the most reliable way to get notifications on all my projects, uploads, and live streams. I'm hoping to build a solid community, so I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.
Bitch! Dumb bitch! Stupid nerd! Take that! Take that!